Must suspicions about personal health be shared with an insurer? I have Parkinson's disease, at least, I think I do. I have a slight tremor in my right hand, my posture is becoming more stooped, and I have a diminished sense of smell. I have not spoken about this with a physician. I have discussed it with a couple of other people who have the disease. I'm 70 years old, and I have decided to apply for long-term care insurance. If I am correct about my Parkinson's, I am statistically at much higher risk of needing long-term care than the average insurance applicant. I have answered all the questions on the insurance application honestly. One of the questions begins, "Have you consulted a physician regarding any of the following conditions?" and it lists many illnesses, including Parkinson's. Well, I have not consulted any physician about my condition. And I don't think I will until the symptoms become strong enough that I require the use of pharmaceuticals to help me manage. Must I make a special effort to inform the insurance company about my suspicions? It will probably affect my eligibility or increase my premiums. Or am I just another point in their actuarial tables? A lot of people get insurance and subsequently discover a condition that needs long-term care. Name withheld. Insurance is about sharing risk. Among people with homeowners insurance, say, many will pay more in premiums than they will ever collect. Others, those whose homes burn down, will collect more than they'll ever pay. Both groups have the confidence that a mishap won't wipe them out financially. And the reason insurers stay in business is that people are better at predicting aggregate risk, how many of our homes will burn down, than individual risk, which of our homes will burn down. Because insurance takes on functions we consider basic to social welfare, it tends to be a heavily regulated industry. Federal statutes now mean that medical insurers generally can't charge more for a pre-existing condition or take genetic information into account. Long-term care insurance, though, is a different creature. Here, insurers can sort applicants into different risk classes based on their medical histories and even their parents' medical histories. They can charge higher rates, or deny coverage altogether, to certain applicants. Which brings us to you. The insurer could have asked other questions and learned facts that would have been relevant to your policy's expected cost. Some questions go unasked because they're not legally permitted, your race or national origin, or because the company has no way of telling if you have answered truthfully. Do you sometimes wake up with leg cramps? Even if you think the insurer would be better off knowing the answer to a question it didn't ask, do you think you have Parkinson's? You're under no obligation to disclose it. After all, insurers already know about you. In the aggregate, I mean. You exemplify what they call adverse selection. It's the tendency of individuals who think they may be at particular risk to seek to insure themselves against that risk. Actuaries and underwriters aim to factor in the existence of such people, albeit not always successfully. Research has shown that, say, people at risk for Huntington's are much more likely to have long-term care policies. Underwriters stay in business by being students of human behavior. So you've already been priced in. As long as you are truthful in your application, then, you're not the fly in the ointment. You are, so to speak, on the ointment's list of ingredients. All that said, the long-term care insurance market doesn't work especially well these days. People are living longer, and ailing longer, than was anticipated 2 or 3 decades ago, when these products became available, and fewer policies have been dropped. Insurers have lost money, policyholders have faced sharp increases in rates, the overall market is small. Meanwhile, as more information about genetic susceptibilities becomes available to people, long-term care insurers will want to know what applicants know. Continue reading the main story. The ethicist. Guam Anthony Appiah considers readers' ethical quandaries. Can I put down my aging pooch? August 3rd. Can I stay friends with an abusive husband? July 27th. Can I tell a dying friend's secret to his children? July 20th. Should I have talked to my father about his cross-dressing? July 13th. Should I hire a PI to investigate a relative's boyfriend? July 6th. See more. We could pass laws to prevent genetic discrimination, as we have with medical insurance, but knowing less than their applicants could drive insurers out of this market. In the end, I suspect, it's going to seem sensible to create publicly funded arrangements that cover everyone. Finally, some medical, rather than ethical, advice. You might want to get yourself to a doctor to see whether your amateur diagnosis is right. For all you know, your symptoms might be the result of a condition best treated soon. I am a liberal white woman whose work is focused mainly on social justice, through education. I have an aunt by marriage who often posts links on Facebook that I find to be bigoted and racist. If my aunt were to express any of these views in person, I would immediately attempt to dissuade her. However, because these are merely posts on Facebook, I have not spoken up. What is my moral and ethical obligation in this situation? My students are often on the receiving end of police brutality and systemic racism, and sitting idly by seems hypocritical. Name withheld.